for all the stuff that you have in the museum? What's the,
Well, we don't really have a budget, but what we use is donations. Like we have our donation boxes throughout the museum, the donation that people put in those boxes.
Oh, yeah.
We buy most of our materials with that, but we do use some of the state money to buy some of the larger dollar items. And I don't know what our budget is. We let our director handles all that. Stephen Jeffcoat handles that. You guys got anything to say about that question? Okay.
I've got another question.
Okay.
After, if somebody else wants to go.
Why is there a pair of doors all the way up there?
That's the archives, the museum archives. There's more stuff up there than there is out of the museum, which is not unusual for museums. And it's all been registered and put into our, basically an inventory system up there. It's all labeled and racks and shelves and spots on the shelves and everything, so we know where stuff is.
And the reason for the doors is for large items that you couldn't carry up the steps. There's another entrance to that room right around the corner, and we can go up there with small items. These doors are so you can lift heavy items with the forklift and take them in there.
About how long on average do you spend on projects?
On projects, well, you know, most of the things, items in this museum have been donated to us or either on loan to us. So, for example, a man gave us a complete set of carvings. He put them on loan to the museum, and all we had to do, they were mint carvings. All we had to do was prepare a case, put them on display, put up a little text plate to tell about them, and they were on show. It's pretty quick.
And then I'm saying, like, to start a project from scratch like this, like, how long does that take?
Well, depends on the complexity of the project. Some projects you can do in a couple hours, and other projects may take you a few months to do it from beginning to end. Just
The helicopter took years.
Yeah, the helicopter out there took us 2.5 years. The guys at McIntyre restored it. Took 2.5 years to restore it.
And they could only work on it on their downtime, not when they were,
Yeah, they had to be off duty.
yeah,
to
they'd
work
be
on it.
off duty to work on it. That's why it took that long to do it. And Ron here, and our previous director, Buddy Sturgis, made the blades that you see. They're wooden blades with a iron rod running down. They made them here on this table in this, then they took them out of McIntyre, I think, and wrapped them in fiberglass, right, Ron? Okay.
How long did it take to make this Gen 216?
We didn't make that, that was given to us.
That's an Army training
But
aid.
they did paint it, dress it up a little bit, because this is plastic and a little bit of metal that we're gonna hang above the Vietnam exhibit, since it's a huge M16 that was used, M16s is mostly what we used in Vietnam.
How long did it take to make? Did you restore the cover wagon over there? The cover wagon?
Kugelwagen? No, that was, all those vehicles along that side, those tan colored vehicles, are German World War II.
Okay.
And we drove all those in there. It belongs to an individual here in Columbia, and they're all in running condition.
Yeah.
And here's one of the guys right here. Danny is one of the guys that keeps his collection running.
Did you restore the half track?
I was here when I got here, so it was
They-
probably restored out at the CSMS.
They painted it.
Yeah, they painted out at McIntyre at the what I call CSMS. It's the ground maintenance shop out there at McIntyre.
Okay.
Did somebody loan y'all the patent or donate it?
The tank. Where do you get the tank from?
Tanks, all the vehicles here, except for these 3 that he was asking about, all these other vehicles technically belong to the Army Center for Military History. And so they actually belong to the Army, and they are sort of on loan to us.
And everything that we have here is in an inventory system, so we know where it is at all times. And if we have an exhibit that we loaned out, like we just recently loaned out an exhibit, you know, there's paperwork that somebody signs for it when they take it out on loan, and then they bring it back, we put it back where it belongs. That's how we know where everything is. We got an inventory system.
Which exhibit was it?
Hmm?
Which exhibit was it?
What exhibit was it? Danny,
The one is on loan now, right there in the Air Guard gallery. We have, used to have a case in there and it had a pilot suit in there with a mannequin. And it had a Desert Storm flight suit. That's on loan right now to where?
Summerton.
Somerton, South Carolina. And they've had it for about 2 months. And eventually we will get it back. And we took the case and everything with it, so.
What's the biggest project you've ever worked on?
Helicopter.
In here, talking about in the workshop.
Yeah.
In the workshop, Ron and myself probably would be the SS Georgiana, don't you think? Or, we built all those cases out that you see in the second building. The first building, 6 years ago when I got here, these two guys right here have been here for a long time, volunteering, sometimes 5 days a week. They tell you how much time they spend. But the second building, we built all those cases in here and took them out there, put them together. And that wasn't too bad, but I'm more proud of that US Georgiana because put a lot of time into that and drawing, how we look and so forth. But
These two guys here have been here since the beginning. The
now, these
museum
two
opened up in
guys have worked on
2007.
A lot of hard
And
projects.
this whole building complex used to be a motor pool. And you can imagine, it looked like a car
Maintenance bay.
garage, maintenance garage. And they were here from the beginning and basically took a motor pool facility and turned it into a museum.
If you'll look right on the other side of the wall right here, in the artillery hall, the three, displays right there on the wall on this side. Bill Maddox and myself, we built the, rock wall, and we built Fort
Sullivan.
Sullivan's Island out of logs, and we built that. We cut the, palmetto trees up to make logs that we could stack up and look like the fort. And that took a while. We actually went to a farm and got those rocks. And then we built that display over there on the end. So you can look at that and tell that it took a while. It wasn't an hour or two.
See, these two guys here, when they first started to work on the museum with our former director, Buddy Sturgis, all this in the first building, they helped and built all those exhibits. There's a lot of time involved in that because they had to plan what they were going to do before they did it.
And, when we came, there was nothing in that building. That building over there was still a tractor trailer shop. This building up here was just an open building with no displays at all when we came out here. And we started building with Buddy Sturgis and kept right on doing it and still doing it today.
Danny's the guy that's responsible for all the lights we got on here. He's our master electrician.
About that.
I think he's a master of all. He can do about anything.
He's a master of all things, yeah.
He can do
We always
about
say,
anything.
if it's broke, Danny can fix it.
And if you want a tour of the museum, this is probably our best tour
This is
guide.
the
Bill
best
Maddox.
tour
Right there,
guide.
that's the man, boy, right there. He knows more about what's in this museum than anybody else.
Yeah, I'm Steve Jeffcoat. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 3.5 years in the Army, and retired, and I volunteer here at the museum 2 or 3 days a week.
I'm Danny Seitler, and I was an Air National Guardsman, full-time, every day of the week for 40 years.
My name is Bill Maddox. I'm a Korean veteran. Had 37 years Air Force time and now volunteer with the South Carolina Military Museum.
Hello, my name is David Smouse. I'm a Vietnam era veteran of the Navy, and then I have 16 years in the Army. I volunteer here at State Military, South Carolina Military Museum.
I'm Ron Claypool. I'm a Vietnam veteran and a veteran of Operation Southern Watch. I was a pilot in the Army for 42 years, retired out of the South Carolina Army National Guard.
We're here at the South Carolina Military Museum, where we're with the amazing volunteers who help build the entire museum.